Okay, last time we talked about outsourcing content using online portals, and we looked at 3 online sites, all highly recommended. And this is just a little tail end video to finish off outsourcing. I just want to talk about offline. Too often when we're talking about digital products, we concentrate solely on online tools and facilities, but offline sometimes that can be the solution too. I'm a member of a local writers group, and we meet once a month. There's about sort of 8 or 10 people in the group, and we write stories and we read stories out to the group, and people will give constructive feedback and they'll make suggestions for change, and that's great. But if you the dynamics of the group are such that one can actually make real use of it. Not only are you getting feedback on what you've written, but you can actually, for instance, if you didn't want to buy and pay the fees that we've been talking about for online outsourcing, you could say to members of your group, and these groups are free to join, by the way, they're easy to find. I'll show you in a second how to find them. But you could say to members of the group, look, I'm looking to get content for a book on, I don't know, about a dog, a children's story for a dog, or animals in a zoo, or something like that. Would anyone be willing to write? Now, whether you pay them or not is up to you, whatever you agree, and it may be that you pay them a small fee and they treat it as a little commission. They'd be very happy to do that. I mean, they're likely to write for free anyway for the group, but you can say, well, if I use it, I will pay you, and the whole group can read and have the story read to them, and they can give feedback on it too. So I highly recommend joining a local writers group or local writers circle. You type in local writers group into Google, something like that, and see what we can come up with. Okay, well, there's a couple of sites I want to point you to. The first one, and obviously I'm writing this from a UK perspective, but the same principle works in the US or any other country you're in. There will be local writers group which gather on a regular basis who are willing to listen to what you've written, or indeed write items for you. Okay, so here's one portal site. I say it's a portal site because we're talking about an offline opportunity, but it's a portal site which actually will give you listings of local writers group in your area. So in this case, again, we're talking about the UK, so it'll be searched by county. I'm in the county of Hertfordshire. Let's see, select a category. I think I want to leave that blank because I want to leave it completely open, just to see what's available, and we'll do a search here. Okay, and just in the county of Hertfordshire you just get 2 results, and these usually it'll give you the contact email address of the group organizer, and you can just say, I live in the area, I wonder what goes on in your group, what kind of writing standard you look for, and our beginners welcome, and just go along and give it a try. They're always very friendly. They're always usually very open to new people joining. In fact, they usually welcome you with open arms. That much I do know for a fact. And when you're a member of the group, as I say, not only can you get people to either, maybe you can do one for the whole group and publish it as a children's book written by the whole group and then share the profits, or, as I say, come up with your own idea and give people some kind of kickback or reward for contributing. And then at the same time, there'll be some people in the group, maybe illustrators. In my group, the owner of the group, or the lady that runs it, she's an illustrator in her own right, and she's more than willing to illustrate any of my books that I want, children's books. So that too is a good thing. And the third and final aspect, which is good for local writers circles, is the fact that you can get reviews. So if you've got a book that you've published to Kindle and you're looking for reviews, we'll come on to the marketing side of that, but reviews is very, very important ingredient. And if you're looking for genuine reviews, you never pay for reviews to be written for you. You're looking for genuine reviews, and there's no better place than people that know you down your local writers group, writers circle. And if you can't find, here's another site, another portal site. It's NAWG. Now all of these resources I'm going to put in the resources section, so don't worry about jotting down the URLs, the domain names. It'll all be in the resources section. But this is the National Association of Writers Groups, and they too have got a searchable section. Depending on your area, think of joining, click here, and no, sorry, the one we want is writing group directory, this one here. And then this will, rather than being a search box, it actually sort of lays everything out in a list based on county or region, country region, and you can see at a glance. Now, not all of the writers groups are going to be in these sites, so if you think, no, there's nothing here that actually takes my fancy or is close enough, literally just go to Google, write local writers group, and just put your town name in, and out will come a list of other writers groups who are possibly not listed on these two portal sites. Either way, I highly recommend joining, even if just for going along for a few sessions, just to see if there's anyone interested in helping you out. Okay, now if you're not wanting to go along and get involved in a group, then still using the offline method, I would suggest, and I've always been a great believer in the power of the local corner shop advertising, simply putting in a little postcard into a local corner shop saying, looking for part-time writers to help write children's book content or children's book articles. And put your just phone number or email address, and I'll bet you, and I've tried this, I know people have tried this, that you will get, there's so many people out there who just want to earn a few pounds, a few dollars, and you know, if you say, you know, mention that they can earn something out of it, but you're looking for writing content for children's articles. People love to write anyway, but if they feel they can earn something out of that, then more power to them. And I would go round sort of 5 or 6 local corner stores, put a postcard in, pay for a month, and give it a try. And I bet you will find, and that'll probably be the most cost effective in terms of how much you have to pay for content. And then the third and final offline resource really is just talking to family and friends. I bet you somewhere in your family and friends there was someone who said, I've written a little story, and you can say, okay, well, dig it out, let's have a look at it. Or someone who said, I'd love to write a little children's story. And again, remember, children's stories, they don't have to be great long novels. I mean, if you've got a 15-page storybook, and you know the main part of the storybook is possibly going to be an illustration. So if you've got 15 pages and say you've got only sort of 50 words on each, you're looking at a total of 750 words in total. So no more than 1,000 words you might be looking at, which, you know, if you think about it, you probably, by the time you've done all the work for outsourcing, you might as well sit down and have a stab at it yourself. And I'm going to show you later in the course just how easy it is when we look at the very first of my 6 methods of coming up with different content. But it is, writing your own is the first, and it's just a picture book and sort of some very basic text. So you don't have to, as I say, sit down and write these long, lengthy tomes. Not necessary these days in the world of digital publishing, and kids just love picture books, and so, you know, this is another way to approach it. So third and final option is to talk to family and friends. The one before that is the corner shops, postcards, and the first one, of course, is joining a local writers group and tapping into the skills that lie therein. Okay, moving on, the next video is going to be it's going to be talking about images and illustrations, and the first part is actually if you decide you want to do it yourself, and then the part 2 will be outsourcing images and illustrations. Okay, that's it for this one.